Hey, good morning, guys. We're on the back half of the week, and boy, what a busy early week it has been. 6 confirmed tornadoes in the state of Alabama, including a handful across the Tennessee Valley on Tuesday evening, and one as far south as Bullock County here in Alabama. We had one EF1 move through Calhoun and Cleburne counties. That was one we were on the air for. Late Tuesday night. So very busy start to the week. We got a good amount to talk about as we head towards the Alabama weekend, the Alabama holiday weekend. So let's get it started. Rain coverage, it does come back. It's not around for the next couple afternoons, but it does look like we could potentially trend wet, a bit stormy on Memorial Day. You know, it's always a toss-up. This time of the year, we're in that big transition period from late spring to summer. We can be dry and comfortable, or we can be wet, muggy, and with a chance of storms. But despite all that, below average temperatures appear to be likely over the next several days. So let's start with the big picture here this morning. It's about 9 o'clock as I'm filming this. We have a big upper low over the Great Lakes region. A surface front draped over central Florida, dry air all the way down to the Gulf. So northerly winds helping to reinforce a more comfortable air mass that is currently in place. So you gotta love that this time of year. And this morning we do have a bit of a shortwave aloft, northwesterly flow carrying about a few showers that are rotating about that upper level low. You can see that there depicted, a few showers that move through Memphis, southern Tennessee, and extreme northern Alabama, but no major rain expected in the forecast here. Temperatures right at about 70 degrees across much of the state. Very comfy morning. I don't know about you guys, but man, it felt a little chilly. Now, then again, I left my house at about 3 o'clock. So depending on when you walked out today, might have been a little bit different. Here's the big thing, though. If you're feeling the more comfortable air, this is what you're feeling, whether you know it or not. This is a dew point temperature. And what this essentially is at what point would our temperature be cool enough that the water in the air condenses out as fog or water? Basically, it's our saturation point. The lower this number is, the more comfortable it feels, the less oppressive. And that is why it feels a little bit more bearable today than other days. So highs this afternoon going to be pretty nice in the northern half of the state. Kind of the tale of two seasons here. I got Andalusia today at around 92, Dothan at 90, Mobile at 88, Birmingham at 84, Gadsden at 82, and Huntsville at 79. It's really hard to keep our temperatures in the 70s this year. It's really hard the further south you get, and we certainly have warmer temperatures to the south, cooler to the north. Tonight, same deal. If for folks who woke up in central Alabama, liked how it felt, crisp, cool, we'll have that again. It'll be out the door early Friday morning, and then Friday afternoon. Looks nice. You got the coolest day across the Tennessee Valley, upper 70s with some cloud cover. But 90s again for the Wiregrass. Quiet weather extended through Friday. So the reason our air is a little bit cooler here is this upper trough. You saw that big upper low. That is still has a bit of a presence through Friday. But by Saturday, that upper low is focused over Maine and the Canadian Maritimes. And we start to go back to more of a weak ridging. And we will be just to the east of that ridge. And along the edge of the ridge, the periphery is going to be a little shortwave, and that is going to bring about thunderstorms on Saturday. And really, as we head into the weekend, we'll see several shortwave perturbations along the ridge, and that's going to give us rain chances really throughout the Memorial Day weekend, the tail end of it, including Memorial Day itself. And you can certainly expect to see some wet weather well into next week. Saturday, the SPC has defined a marginal risk area that includes a huge chunk of the Birmingham and Huntsville market, the Mobile and Wiregrass markets not included in that. In fact, rain chances are a bit lower the southern half of the state. Here's Saturday's outlook. Essentially, US 80 from Montgomery to Demopolis and Selma north is our severe threat. It's a very marginal threat, and this is simply a conditional on, do we get the energy back? Does a warm front lift north, and along that frontal boundary will we see strong thunderstorms? So we'll keep a very close eye on that. As we move forward, I expect isolated thunderstorms. Here is Saturday morning. We'll start our future view there, and I'm grabbing the European model because it handled this past event pretty well, and I'm thinking that we'll go with this. Now, it is a wetter solution, so keep that in mind. But as we look at Saturday afternoon, okay, the focal point of the rain initially Saturday afternoon will be across the Tennessee Valley. Now, this may cascade or roll to the south during the evening, but I think our coverage starts to become a little bit more numerous, a little bit more widespread on on Sunday. This is a look at about 4 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. So we have a pretty decent area of coverage for the northern half of the state. You'll have your sea breeze thunderstorms down along the Florida Big Bend and across the Wiregrass. Those are very small and will not have as big of an influence to the forecast as what will happen in the northern half of the state. Let's go into Monday. Monday could be a wet afternoon. This is Memorial Day. If you're looking for a window, I think we have until about 11 o'clock on Monday morning where the rain chances are low. After that, we'll see widespread rain potential all across the state. That is southwest, southeast, north. This goes all the way into the Ohio Valley. It's a soupy atmosphere. It's one with high moisture content and one that will bring about the chance for pretty decent rain coverage. By the time we get into Tuesday, we're still in the midst of that pattern. So Monday and Tuesday, I think, will be the best coverage days, but I'm starting to think Sunday may be lumped in there as well. So that'll be something to watch. I don't really expect this to yield much in the way of severe weather. The atmosphere is going to be very soupy, very saturated. There's probably not going to be a huge instability profile with this. This is just kind of a tropical summer-like atmosphere, and we do have a lifting mechanism with this stalled boundary in place that could act as some extra oomph to some of these thunderstorms. But again, kind of in summary, I think Sunday, Monday, Tuesday will be our best coverage days. And with this in mind, it's not going to rain everywhere every day, but we're looking at a half to an inch, and where you're seeing the yellow up in the extreme northern part of Alabama, that is upwards of 2.5 inches, and even in the southern half of the state, the numbers could be in that half-inch to 1-inch range. The lowest totals will be down in the Wiregrass, where again we're progged at less than 1 inch of rain. It's a pretty big discrepancy we've had here recently from the northern to southern half of the state as far as rain totals go. How about our outlook? Boy, look at that. This is through June 5th. How about that for a little cool air setup here? This is a look at the 8 to 14 day outlook. We already are below average through next week for the northern half of the state. And this indicating that well into early summer, meteorological summer, we are looking at below average temperatures for much of the southeast, so stay tuned for that. All right, beachgoers, this is a fun time of year. I know for my family, we used to always go to the lake for Memorial Day, so however you choose to celebrate, thank you for those who have served, know people who have served and, passed away, serving this country and defending this country means the world. Certainly can't thank you enough. However you are celebrating, or if you're doing vacations along the Gulf Coast, we're dry through the early part of the week, but rain chances will be increasing as you saw there as we go through next week. So that is a look at your forecast here on this Thursday morning. Hope everybody's having a great day, drying out, recovering from the storms. And we'll have another update coming on Friday morning. Hope everybody has a great day and a safe day as we graduate and wrap up the school year. See y'all.